Welcome back to the Literary Lori YouTube channel. I am Literary Lori, and if you love reading books or writing books that center the lives of Black people and other people of color globally, then you are in the right place because I love those things too. And that's what this YouTube channel is all about. It's about sharing my love of all the bookish things and sharing my journey going from being a journalism professor and journalist, award-winning nonfiction author in the United States to this new path that I'm on, which is being a novelist and living in the south of Spain. But this episode isn't about me. No. The episode a couple of days ago was about me, but today's episode is about another amazing Black author born in February as part of my special series, the Black Literary History series, where I am sharing the story and the literary lessons we can all apply to our lives from an amazing Black author born in February. So today, I'm sorry, I'm like looking at my computer and talking at the same time. Today, our special amazing writer, as you know, because you saw the thumbnail, it is the Jacqueline Woodson. Yes, I feel like round of applause must be given. Jacqueline Woodson is an incredible writer. She was born on this day, February 12th, in the 1960s. She is still very much alive. And she has written over 30 books in her lifetime. I saw an article in the New York Times that said that she has basically published a new book every single year since 1990. Yeah. So when I say amazing authors in February, I mean amazing authors in February. These are not just run-of-the-mill, oh, I wrote a book once. No. A book a year since 1990. Okay. So most people know Jacqueline Woodson as a author for young people. That is where the majority of her books, she has written the majority of her books for young adult, middle grade, and even picture books. But that is not the only thing Jacqueline Woodson writes. She also writes adult fiction and nonfiction, actually. She writes everything, basically. So another thing that is unique about Jacqueline Woodson is that she is not afraid of tackling difficult subjects for young people's literature. She has written about everything from race, identity, substance abuse, sexuality. What else do we have? Oh, teen pregnancy. But she writes about it in a way where she says she still is always looking for hope and joy. She writes in ways that doesn't talk down to kids. Her work is very powerful. And I remember finding her work, after I was in her age range, so to speak, but I still read so many of her books. And even as an adult, a young adult, in my 20s, I really enjoyed her books. Anyway, so Jacqueline Woodson, again, most people know her because of her young adult literature, but she is writing and has written several books for adults as well. So because Jacqueline Woodson is so well known and again, very much alive, I thought I would again share our 10 fun facts, things you probably didn't know about her, or things that I think are pretty darn interesting. So let's get to it. First, fact number 1, Jacqueline Woodson was born in Columbus, Ohio, but her family moved to South Carolina soon after she was born, but then they moved up to Brooklyn when Jacqueline was 7, but she ended up kind of splitting her time between Brooklyn and South Carolina. It sounds like they would go down south probably for the summers or maybe for other vacations to see family, what have you, but she kind of had that dual upbringing where she was in the city, gritty city in New York, but also then in the more country side in South Carolina. One of her favorite books when she was a child was none other than the famous Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry by Mildred Taylor. And she said that she, even as from a very young age, I should say, that she loved reading and writing. Fun fact number 2, when Jacqueline Woodson was just 2 years old, she was a model. She actually was in a series of print ads for Alaga syrup. I've never heard of that, but she was in a bunch of print ads for Alaga syrup in Ebony magazine. Bet you didn't know that about Jacqueline Woodson. All right, fun fact number 3. Jacqueline Woodson has 3 siblings, 2 brothers and a sister. She's number 3 in the birth order. And Jacqueline Woodson is 5'10", and she's the shortest person in her family. Yeah, family of tall people right there. Did you know that fact about Jacqueline Woodson? I bet you didn't. Fun fact number 4, like me, if you watched my video before, Jacqueline Woodson, before she was a famous storyteller, she was a famous liar. Yeah, she said that, like me, I mentioned that I'd never heard anybody say this before, so I'm actually tickled about this. She said she, quote, told a lot of stories as a child. Not once upon a time stories, but basically outright lies. She said, I loved lying and getting away with it. There was something about telling the lie story and seeing your friend's eyes grow wide with wonder. Of course, I got in trouble for lying, but I didn't stop until the 5th grade. Unquote. So apparently in 5th grade, she wrote a story, and her 5th grade teacher, who apparently wasn't a super friendly, nice teacher, actually smiled and told Jacqueline that this was a good story. So then she goes on to say, quote, I was well on my way to understanding that a lie on the page was a whole different animal, one that won you prizes and got surly teachers to smile. A lie on the page meant lots of independent time to create your stories and the freedom to sit all hunched over the pages of your notebook without people thinking you were strange, unquote. So again, these creative minds thinking, making up stories. If you don't call them a lie, it could be, again, a short story. So I love that early beginning for Jacqueline Woodson. All right, fun fact number 5. One of Jacqueline Woodson's favorite authors when she was young was none other than Judy Blume. And here's the double fun on this fun fact. Jacqueline Woodson and Judy Blume have the same birthday. All right, moving on. Fun fact number 6. One of Jacqueline Woodson's first jobs after college was writing the reading portion of the standardized tests for the state of California. Somebody has to write those. And this is not for the state. It was a company that, that created the tests for the state of California. And at that company, there was also a literary agent who was also in their employment. And she saw some of Jacqueline Woodson's stories that she was writing on these tests and was like, wow, you're really talented. Do you have any work published or things that you're trying to get published? And apparently Jacqueline had a manuscript, but the agent eventually nothing happened with that manuscript. But it was the thing that really got Jacqueline moving forward on getting serious about her writing and getting published. So you never know what emerging writers you might actually be reading on those standardized tests. So I thought that was a really cool fun fact, and also just a little memory for all of us. A little reminder for all of us that you never know what writing job might be the one that, launches your career, or where you might meet somebody who can help you launch your career. So, especially when times are difficult, if it's a writing job, there's usually something that can be beneficial for your career. So just remember Jacqueline Woodson writing standardized test prompts or questions with her little, stories, and that's how it all got started for her. All right. Fun fact number 7. Jacqueline Woodson's first book was called Last Summer with Maison, and it was published in 1990. And it was a story about 2 11-year-olds who were really good friends. And they were both girls. So 2 girlfriends. So I love that her first book was about friendship, and it was very well praised, and it got really good reviews. All right. Fun fact number 8. Jacqueline Woodson has won, and please, this is my own counting. This was not something that I just copied from somewhere, so I could be a little bit off on these numbers. But according to my counting, Jacqueline Woodson has won the Coretta Scott King Award 6 times. She's won the Newbery Award 4 times. She's won the NAACP Image Award 3 times. In 2020, she won the Hans Christian Andersen Award and the MacArthur Genius Grant Award, also known as the MacArthur Fellowship. To win those two things in 1 year in 2020, that's incredible. To win all of those awards, and that's not even all of the awards. She's won so many awards for her work because it's so good. I feel like I could just read off all of her awards and that would be the end of this episode, but those aren't fun facts. The fun facts are that she's just won so many different awards, and like the top awards for young people's literature, she's won them not once, not twice, but multiple times. And let's keep going with the awards. Fun fact number 10. I skipped fun fact number 9. Fun fact number 9. I did mention that even though she has written mostly children's books, these are the 4 titles that she has written for adults. Autobiography of a Family Photo, Another Brooklyn, Red at the Bone, and Remember Us. All of those also really well done, well respected, shortlisted for prizes, bestsellers. Fun fact number 10. Jacqueline's book, Brown Girl Dreaming, is actually a novel in verse. Did I mention that Jacqueline Woodson also writes poetry? Oh, forgot that part? Sorry. Yeah, also writes poetry. So there's nothing this woman can't do. So Brown Girl Dreaming is a novel in verse for young people, and it's based on the stories of Jacqueline Woodson's own family. So even though it's considered a novel, she did get the source material are stories that she got from her relatives. So that's really cool. That book came out in 2014 and it won the National Book Award. And the Newbery Award medal. So Jackie never goes in for just like, let me just get one little award. No, she gets the National Book Award and the Newbery Award, same book. Now, remember I mentioned that Alice Walker got the Pulitzer and the National Book Award in the same year, and I was like, it's very rare. Well, Jacqueline Woodson got the National Book Award and the Newbery Award. So all these black people, all these black authors are incredible. They're the ones that people go, oh my gosh, this never happens, except when it's Jacqueline Woodson or Alice Walker, right? Anyway, and again, these are all black authors born in February. So what do you say about that? Okay, moving on. Fun fact number 11. From 2018 to 2019, Jacqueline Woodson was the National Ambassador for Young People's Literature. I didn't even know that was a thing, but that's what she was. All right, fun fact number 12. With all of these prizes, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of these awards come with a paycheck. They come with not a paycheck, like a check, right? It's not just like a little gold medal or sticker for your book. It comes with a check. And one of the most incredible things that Jacqueline Woodson did with her earnings, I'm not sure if it was just from the MacArthur Fellowship or other earnings, what have you, but she took a lot of her prize money to create a residency specifically for artists of the global South. It is called Baldwin for the Arts, yes, named for James Baldwin, and it was to create a fully funded artist residency specifically for artists of the global South. So writers, visual artists, they can come, and it's in Brewster, New York, which is north of New York City. They pay for travel, they pay for your food, your lodging, everything. So this is what she saw a need for, which is clear, for more writers, more artists of color of the global majority to have a place where they can come and create and be in safe spaces and be supported. So Baldwin for the Arts, they are actually going to be taking applications for their next residents soon. So I'll leave a link for Baldwin for the Arts in the description down below. All right. Last fun fact, it's fun fact number 13. When I graduated from college and moved to Brooklyn, New York, I don't know, maybe apartment number 3 or 4, I lived in Park Slope, and my across the street neighbor was none other than Jacqueline Woodson. Yes, so Jacqueline Woodson and I were neighbors for a short time in the 90s in Brooklyn. She, as far as I know, still lives in Brooklyn. I do not. I live in the south of Spain. But that was really fun because I didn't know it was Jacqueline Woodson. When somebody said, oh yeah, Jackie blah, blah, blah lives across the street, it didn't register. And then I was like, when I found out, I was like, oh my God, you're Jacqueline Woodson. And probably only nerdy me would have gone that geeked out meeting her. But we became like neighbor friends. So that's a fun fact, number 13. All right, so you guys know that I'm not going to leave you without a little bit of advice for those of you who are writers and are looking for advice from people who can turn a book out once a year since 1990, who can write for children, adults, and poetry. Yeah, this would definitely be somebody you should listen to for advice. So here is what Jacqueline Woodson has for you, any of you who are struggling with writer's block. She gave this advice in an interview in Writer's Magazine. So they asked her specifically, like, what do you do about writer's block? Or what do you think about writer's block? And she said, quote, what people identify as writer's block, I see as fear. The first step to getting over it is recognizing what you are afraid of. Are you afraid to reveal something about yourself? Are you afraid your story will fail? Are you afraid someone will judge you? Whatever is keeping you silent is the thing you need to look at deeply and move beyond. So then she offers this exercise that she does if she finds herself stuck or feeling fearful. She says, quote, I always start writing saying, no one is ever going to see this. That way I'm freed up to put on the page what I might not if I thought someone was going to read it. Then I read it out loud, so I'm able to identify what I feel safe putting into the world. That gets me to the next step, unquote. So I hope that's helpful for people, and I do think I am in agreement with Jacqueline Woodson about writer's block. You know, I think of writer's block as an excuse, not in the sense that you're doing it intentionally, but by just having that idea that there's something called writer's block that prevents me from writing doesn't get you really at finding the core of what is really stopping you. I read another interview with Jacqueline Woodson who said when she said that when she got writer's block, it just meant she didn't want to write what she was writing. And she always says she's working on multiple projects at the same time. So if she gets writer's block, she gets blocked on one project, she just moves to another one. So that's another option. If you are struggling and you can't move forward with a particular project, start another one or work on another one. All right, I'm going to leave you with a lovely quote from Jacqueline Woodson herself. This was published in the Hornbook magazine, and this is what she said about her writing. Quote, I want to leave a sign of having been here. The rest of my life is committed to changing the way the world thinks, one reader at a time, unquote. All right, so there you have Jacqueline Woodson. I've read so many of her books, but I'm going to leave just one of her adult books and one of her kids' books in the description below so you can read some of her work if you haven't already. I'd also love to hear, because again, she's written so many books. Let me know down in the comments if you have read any of Jacqueline Woodson's books and which ones were they, which ones did you like the most. All right, I am so glad you are here, that you came to learn something about another amazing Black writer born in February. I hope you're telling everybody you know that Black writers born in February are awesome, and you tell them about this series so that more people can learn about all of these incredible writers and authors. I will be here tomorrow, as you know, for another amazing story about another amazing Black writer born in February. Bye.